Right now, I have the privilege. This is so dope. I have the privilege and honor of introducing a beloved friend and sister, Yadira de la Riva, who is a poet, actor, joining us all the way from the Bronx by way of El Paso, Texas, and Ciudad Juarez. Yadi, what's up?
Hey,
It's so good to see you.
likewise, likewise.
How are
I,
you
I
feeling
could
today, Yadi?
man,
Mm-hmm.
all the feels. I feel like we're all going through it, but I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling blessed to be just sharing in spaces with people that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yo, seriously.
But that have held it down for the longest. So I'm grateful to see you and grateful, for
Yeah.
all the yes, absolutely, you and Lucas, and so grateful to also be listening to other folks just sharing throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people have been blessing it, bringing that medicine. Definitely during these hard times, we need that soul inspiring, heart filling medicine. And I know you're about to bless us as well, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, pass the mic to you. So good to see you, sister.
Likewise, thank you.
Take us away.
Okay. This poem is called Land Grab. The land belongs to those that work it. Say the backbended and displaced people of Mexico and any country where brown and black people are from. The nameless and borderless Americans with calloused hands and gallos feet embedded on squinted eyes that measure time with the brightness of the sun and breaths. Momentary breaths before returning back to work, whose fingernails know the earth too well, the dry and wetness of nutrients cultivating a new seed, life, the union to land, a loyalty of ritual, a knowledge of seasons, a transcended prayer that still lies on humble lips on those who know they know nothing at all. The ones who are left behind in our homelands, in our bones. We are here because they were there. Say the scorched corpses in deserts along the US Mexico border, the binational breadwinners behind kitchen doors, clean hotel rooms, fresh produce stacks, and landscape lawns of the American dream that prides itself on our work as activists, lawmakers, artists, and then demonizes us with ICE raids, stop and frisk policies, police brutality, incarceration, deportation, and the banning of books. There are children in the US retelling stories in the likeness of Anne Franks, who I learned the significance of the words never again from. Children in the US today, knowing what it feels like to hide, knowing what it's like to be torn away from their families, knowing what it's like to be persecuted because of how you look, knowing what it's like to have family members picked up day or night and taken to detention centers for indefinite amounts of time, but also knowing that you can't hide from the truth. Manifest Destiny never ended, never took a break on shelved history books that put the minds of youth to sleep. It never learned from its past or attempted to humanize its hurt. Instead, it put military forces behind laws on insignificant papers natives warned us about centuries ago. Before genetically modified seeds, before petri dishes of profit turned science against itself to ravage a whole land, pueblo by pueblo. Another generation pushed from land to territory, territory to production site to workstations where conveyor belts mechanized bodies around the clock. Life, the old normal, reduced to foreign stickers on plastic items on Target aisles, engine parts in luxury cars, fine cloths on democratic tables of status, reflected in empty mirrors, leaving us with no land, no home to afford, no means of production to own, ni de aquí, ni de allá, with hardly anything to lose and a lot to reclaim. Nuestra historia, nuestra cultura, our connection to this land, to Mother Earth, to ourselves. El movimiento sin tierra somos todos. Descendants of gods and goddesses somos todos. The ones that are left behind somos todos. The brown and black somos todos. Trabajadores con papeles y sin papeles somos todos. Luchadores americanos. The land belongs to those that work it. The nameless and borderless worldwide. Somos todos. So that's poem number 1. It's so hard not to have feedback. But my next poem is it's from Soul Sister Review. You guys can see that. A poetry compilation edited by Cynthia Manick. I'm so grateful to be a part of this and of this publication, and I will read my next poem from there. It's called Tilling the Soil. She always knew she could move the wind with her skirt, accent the night with the shine of her lips, orient men with her silhouette like the Franklin Mountains, the star bringing you home. A warmth they want and suddenly need for their insatiable thirst, yearning and weeping. She left herself there, somewhere on the frontera, and the ragged body that was no longer hers, always for someone else's gaze, someone else's hands, someone else's pleasure, someone else's revenge, someone else's experiment and mistake, doing someone else's work, having someone else's child, cleaning someone else's mess, and still remaining buena para nada. How a goddess could be so confused. ¿Cómo le robaron la felicidad? ¿Cómo? The question came from a distant whisper the moment she felt herself drowning in the shame of qué vergüenza. Cover yourself. Báñate. Cállate. Don't you see? ¿Qué no entiendes? ¿Qué te crees? Who the fuck you think you are? Seeping into every pore that she numbed with silence. She awoke, rummaging through a wasteland of broken men, fucking and tossing them in search for lost parts of herself, roaming the city alone, restless, her hunger never as savage as now. Where is the land? She wanted to know. I am made in the image of God, she claimed, an extension of a tierra, a brown and breathing, protecting earth, a drum and prayer song on the soles of my feet, a promising scent of tierra mojada, malleable in my hands, memory and creation in me. ¿Dónde quedó la tierra? She toiled in the fields of destruction for what seemed like a lifetime. Pobrecita, they would say, as they witnessed the fulfilled prophecy of her ravaged spirit. The sky is so tall and her eyes so blind that she lives content with only finding where her land was, not knowing she was tilling the soil for herself and all the Black and brown women and girls who had left themselves there, somewhere anxiously awaiting their rebirth. Okay. I actually, that poem is for all the women that are experiencing domestic violence right now, and also especially to all the women and girls in Mexico and everywhere else that are victim to femicide, especially during this time. And this is my last one. It's called Brown Eyes. It's brand new and it's inspired by all folks that are rising up today. Brown eyes, anchored in miracles, carried through survival, witness hell itself, the pillaging and plundering of your people, as real as your senses, the sound, smell, look, feel, and taste of violence still in your mouth. Brown eyes, no one can imagine your story. A hero's journey, standing on the platform of the 4 train at Yankee Stadium, far from your land, but always found. Got your ancestors' pulse in your walk, their gifts on your fingers, your dark brown eyes, the tinted ride for your forefathers, mothers, tias, abuelas, primos, they're all in there. When you feel alone and the world is falling apart, they're in there showing you the way to your inner calling. Brown eyes, a mirror of growing pain and joy. Tears turn to love, how you do it. With no more resilience to terror than anyone else, yet you survived. Brown, hopeful eyes, soft and full of love. All is possible with your imagination. A brilliant star, and another, and another, and another. You are bigger than yourself. Brown eyes of brown skin like yours, a lullaby with honey, sweet, eyes so deep. They are afraid of you. Their inability to understand, their fear of getting closer just to see your beauty, your calm fierceness. So afraid, they're willing to fight you, fight themselves, to destroy the evidence of their brokenness, to prove that there is no such thing as love. But there is. And you're a living testament of it every day. Brown eyes of the future, all the stories you will tell of our triumph during these times, how we gathered and loved in on each other, evolving right here, right now, as you are. My beautiful brown eyes. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without my mom. And it's her birthday today, sorry. So I just want to wish my mom a very, very happy birthday. I love you, mom. Te quiero mucho.